Well, hello. Thanks for joining me. I'm about to do some creative DIYs for Christmas. And before we get started, I'd like to let you know that it's easy and creative, something to play with, basically. My intro is frosty grounds and naturally flocked trees, of course. So here we go. So my first one is upcycling old ornaments, basically. This is the new one, and this is the old one. So the old one is glittered, which I didn't kind of like anymore, so I've upcycled them. So basically, you just use the paint that I'm showing you right here, which is a suede texture. With a paintbrush, you simply layer it on. There's no rhyme or reason. You just paint it on. Once it dries, you'll see that it's basically textured, sort of like suede. And it is the easiest thing you can do for something that you might have already and you're not a fan of anymore. So these ones I've had forever, and I like them way more now that it is done and more simple, basically. So my second project is basically upcycling a nutcracker. This was something I had purchased for a prop for a photo shoot. I'm a photographer by trade, but this is something I'm just going to use around the house at this point. So I don't really like the way it looks. I had stripped all the little bits and pieces that's not very pretty. The hair, the mustache, the beard. And I had the blue little gemstones taken off. My third project is basically these old little animals that I have. I had glittered them once upon a time when I was in some sort of glittering mood, as you can see. And I had, they're basically toys. So I had washed them, cleaned them up, and this is what they look like when they're clean. So this is their original form. As cute as they are, I just thought that I prefer them to look a little bit more vintage. So it is winter in Toronto, which is where I'm from, and it's beautifully flocked trees outside. You don't have to artificially flock anything here during December, January, February, and so on. So in terms of the nutcracker, all I did was spray gold. So if you have something that you want to upcycle, maybe you can choose a color that you like and then spray it down. This one will be something I will like for a really long time, as it's more simple and muted in color now. The animals got the same spraying. It dries pretty quickly. I was actually doing this in the middle of December. You'll see that it's snowing, basically a little bit. And there's my finished product. Cute, simple, still works. And there you go. The animals were just as cute, basically. Once I spray painted them, they had this old school vintage vibe, which I like way more. So this is basically where my head's at. I like a little old school. I'm a little bit old school at heart. So the hooks I bought new. Basically, you can purchase them from a dollar store. They had gotten a little gold painting themselves. So the S hooks make it pretty and gives it old school vibe, basically, which is what I like. And after I string them, they get to go on the tree. So this one's a clear acrylic ornament, basically. I had done something to it previously, but I had already washed it off, which I never caught on film. But it's plastic, but it's very, very easy DIY basically for this one. I'm just using a Sharpie pen. It's water-based white. So if something goes wrong, you can literally wash it with water and you can take off the paint and then redo it all over again. So if I don't like this next year, I can basically change it up again. What can I say? I change my mind often, but I love creative stuff. So here's what I'm doing with them. So I had drawn different little things on it. So one's a snowflake. I had also done, hopefully you can see this, I'm going slow enough, and I had sped up things. I put Christmas trees on another one, a little bit more contemporary, but still old school. Very minimal drawings, basically. So you can put anything you like. You could put dots. You can draw snowmen. Whatever works for the DIYs that you have and works with your style. So there you go. That's what it looks like. And this one was a simple, well, pattern essentially. All I'm doing, as you can see, you can follow along. They're just simple, minimal drawings, basically. There's nothing complicated about these things. The last one, basically, I had done the moon and the stars. You'll see in about a minute. But I had changed my mind after I had done it. It kind of didn't look cute after I finished it. I mean, it looks cute while I'm doing it here. But when you hang it, you kind of lose it a little bit, I feel. So I had erased it off camera and I had changed the design to an actual snowman. Here you see just the stars and the moon on strings with snowflakes around. So this one is an old one with my cute little lump of love on it. Basically all I did was spray painted black. Oh, right, sorry. Before I spray painted it black, I had used caulking. I just wanted to create a texture on it. Yes, caulking, basically the stuff that you put around a sink or a tub to create texture, just like that. I had just used my finger and rubbed it all over. Once it was done, I had done some different textures as well. And then spray painted it black, just the way you're looking at it. And I gold leafed a couple of them. I think I changed my mind. As I'm doing things and I don't like it, I upgrade things. The gold leafing has a glue, and then once you do that, you just stick it on. For the purpose of textures, once I painted it black and I realized I didn't quite like it and didn't sort of work with the vintage vibe, I went in and changed it. So I basically use the tiny little beads. There's paint, caulking. So the caulking basically acts as glue, and when you mix it up, it looks like that. So you can make it thicker consistency by simply putting on, where I'm putting it on the ball here. And as you can see, it's a tad runny. So eventually you'll see that I have added baking soda. So anything that has a little grit to it, you could grind up chalk to put into it. You can put sand, very light sand. Anything that you feel is texture-ish is what I've used. So I've used the beads. Basically, I kind of like this look. I did a light one, and then I darkened it because I just, as I said, I like to change my mind as I go along. No harm in that. Evolve as you go along, basically. So I had put the flakes. There was flakes, and then I had put in the texture, and once I was done, I was just like, what if I spilled beads all over it? So here's me spilling beads all over it, which is kind of cute. Very vintagey. No hot glue gun required for this project. So just like that. This one's an acrylic ornament that I had just purchased from Michael's. It's a craft supply store here. They were like $2.99, I believe. They're clear, just like that. At first, I wasn't sure what I would do with it. But then I was just like, hey, let's make them look old school and vintagey. So the tape I'm using is basically painter's tape that you would use for the wall. So it comes off easy. There's no residue left over. Spray painted it gold, just like that. And I was going to keep it like that. But then, as always, once I'm done, I kind of change my mind as I go along. My husband's laughing at me right now. So there's caulking, paint, again, just because I figured I'd most probably end up spitting the beans. Beans. What am I saying to you? Anyways, here you see me painting it very lightly, and then I'll speed it up so that way you can just kind of follow along. So you can make these any color. Gold and green kind of works for me. And then those are the flakes, and then the beads. So kind of easy textures to put on top. So you'll see me sprinkling them just like that. Aren't they cute? they're just adorable. Very simple, easy DIYs, basically. Then I decided, well, let's add a pop of color. So why not red? There's caulking. I had put in baking soda, and then mixing it up. Then you basically paint whatever feels right. So for the gingerbread house, I made the door red. And then for the car, I painted the body red. When it was dry, it has this suede texture because I used the same paint as I did for the ornament. I love it. So it's a part shiny, part suede. And there it is. This one was such a random thing. I had just picked up. I thought it was cute when I bought it. And I had no clue what I was going to do with it. I was just going to stick it on the tree just as is. And as you can see, it was $2.99. Again, it was from the craft store, Michael's. They're very cute. See? As is, they're cute, but it just sort of didn't feel right on my tree. So to change it up, I thought I'd make them into cherries. So I stripped them apart, taken off the brown paper that they had at the stem, which I didn't really care for because I was going to paint it at some point. So you take the two, tie it up. It's very simple. Once you do that, I had spray painted it gold. I was going to go the whole way, and then I decided against it when I looked at it. So this the top was gold. Still snowing outside. And there he is. That's my other half. Throwing a snowball at me. So this last one is, I'm using a Sharpie, the same Sharpie pen. It's a painter's pen, white. It's water-based, basically. I'm doing a voice overlay here. So you'll see me shake it and watch it go flying out. Not to worry, you can just pop it back in. And then carry on. So this is basically a window that I'm using to paint on. Because it's water-based, you can just Windex it and wipe it off. So to start off, you just press it against your finger so you can get the ink running, and then basically have fun with it. Here's me just drawing a village. It's very simple. It's very minimal. Everything is kept simple. Just this stuff is just to ease your mind if you're bored. We're in the middle of the COVID, pandemic era in 2020. So something for you to be creative and think outside the box and do, basically. I'm rambling, as you can see. But anyways, so aren't they cute? I thought this was like the cutest thing. It was such a last minute idea. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for joining me. And please do leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you think.